Bye. Back in Bangkok today. It's great to be home and it's always great to be in the city, but there are some mixed emotions here too. So today I'm just off for a bit of a walk and a bit of a skate. I miss being on the board every time I travel, so it's great to come back and jump on this thing. And today I wanted to share with you my thoughts on the Philippines and how that trip went, and also the good and the bad of all these trips I've been taking lately. So I had an awesome time in the Philippines. I always do. That's why I keep going back and why I'll continue to go back there. It's an amazing country. The people are just incredible everywhere you go. Some of the friendliest people in the world, and I really enjoy that. And this time I did a little bit more exploring around. I went to Boracay. Boracay was so beautiful. Spent a few days just chilling out and relaxing on the beach and swimming in that incredible water. And I just like completely unwound there. It was so nice. After that, I obviously planned to go to Cebu and didn't make it, but I kind of enjoyed that adventure of, you know, missing the flight and everything. I like things not going to plan and things just, you know, happening as they happen. So I ended up going back to Manila and I spent 4 days there. And honestly, those 4 days were probably the best 4 days of my trip. The food was, the food's this ongoing battle for me. So I don't dislike the food. I enjoyed everything I ate, but there was nothing that I ate that really had that wow factor. You know, I've been traveling quite a lot. You know, I was just in Japan recently and I live here in Thailand, and the food in both these countries is absolutely incredible. And the Philippines just doesn't quite live up to that. And like I said, it's not to say that anything I ate I didn't enjoy, because I actually enjoyed every meal and I was a lot more adventurous this time, but I just didn't find anything that makes me want to jump back on a plane tomorrow and go back there to eat it. One thing that I did eat that I did really enjoy was lechon, which is like a pig on the spit basically, and that was amazing. But you know, it's not exclusively a Philippines thing. I've had it here and it's amazing. I've had it in Australia and it's really good. And I actually had it in the US. It was one of the best things I've ever eaten. But you know, one thing that's great about the Philippines is that all the international food is quite reasonably priced. You know, I had amazing Japanese, I ate Korean quite a few times actually. I love Korean food and it's all reasonably priced there, you know, whereas here it's a bit more expensive if you want international food. I did actually eat Filipino food for breakfast most mornings. You know, I like a super simple breakfast and I just, you know, meat and rice is fine for me. So I found a few different things there that I really liked. I had tapa, adobo, liempo, a few things like this. They're great for breakfast, just nice and easy, and they taste good. God, all this talk of food. You know where I'm going with this, right? So now I'm just heading for lunch. I'm going to go to this cool little local spot that's just near Lumpini Park. I'll leave a link for where it is because it's a really cool spot. I think only the locals know about it. So the first place I actually wanted to go to was closed, but that's cool. There's a whole bunch of little street food places along here, and I've actually eaten at most of them, and this place is awesome. They've got great lab mu, which is a pork lab, and I think it's probably my favorite thing to eat here in Thailand. So when I talk about the food and the differences of the food, you know, the complexity of this dish of what goes into making this pork lab is what makes it so good. There's so many different herbs and spices and vegetables and the onions and mint, everything together, all the chili, it just makes it amazing. Pork lard with sticky rice, ask for extra spicy. Oh yeah. Oh, you can't beat that. That's unreal. Oh man, that was awesome. So I don't want to get into a whole comparison thing between Thailand and the Philippines. There are a lot of things I prefer about Thailand, but there's also many things about the Philippines that I prefer over Thailand. And you know, I love living here. I could happily live in the Philippines. So every time I do draw any kind of comparisons, it turns into a shit show in the comments. It gets everyone divided. And I don't want to do any of that. I just want to, let's all just agree that both countries are amazing. And for me personally, I would happily live in either. So I just want to take a quick second to thank SurfShark. They're actually my longest running supporter and help make all of these trips possible. So SurfShark is SurfShark is a VPN provider, and actually the VPN provider that I used to use and pay for myself before they sponsored me. I now get it for free. Shout out SurfShark. So if you're traveling, I definitely recommend having a VPN. I mean, you probably should have one anyway at home, but you know, I've had things like I've been hacked here before, which was super scary. And there's a lot of streaming services that don't seem to work here. Netflix doesn't show all movies or shows here for whatever reason. And having a VPN gets around all of that. So I have a great promo code that you can use. That's Keis One, and that gives you 83% off plus 3 months extra for free. And that's actually the deal that I used when I signed up. I used one of my mates. He has a promo code as well, and I did the same thing. The deal is unbelievable. It's definitely worth checking out, and it's great to be able to travel and have that peace of mind knowing that you're protected. So check out SurfShark. All the information, everything you need to know is down in the description below. The promo code and everything's there. Check them out. And thanks again to SurfShark for making all these trips possible for me. So then that brings me to my favorite part, but also the hardest part about my travels, and that's the people I meet along the way.
You all wanna be brown a champion, a champion. Royal, top of the world. Royal, yeah, top of the world. Royal, top of the world. Royal, yeah, top of the world. Royal, top of the world. Royal, yeah, top of the world. Royal, top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
So during my travels, I've been fortunate enough to meet some truly incredible people and form some really amazing friendships. Now, I just want to quickly preface this by saying, without exception, every single girl that's been in any of my videos from all over the world, we're still friends to this day, and I'm still in close contact with all of them. And they are people that I genuinely consider my friends. On this most recent trip, I met that chick in Manila, and it's funny, I explained to her, like, she's like, why do you call me that chick? And I explained why I don't do names, and she thought it was quite funny in the end. But we spent about 8 days together, and I had an amazing time. And then inevitably what happens is it comes to the time where you have to say goodbye, and that always sucks. But saying goodbye is not always forever. You know, I often travel to these same countries again, and I'll end up seeing these people again. And I've seen quite a few people that I made videos with in the past on other trips, and a couple of them didn't want to make videos anymore because of all the shit that came along with that, the creeps that sort of ruined that for everyone. But that's all good. I don't really care if we make a video together or not. Just maintaining that friendship is important to me. You see, when you move around as much as I do, it's harder to maintain these longer term relationships, and I get that, and I'm totally cool with that. I'm very fortunate to get to live this amazing life that I live, where I get to travel the world constantly and meet all these amazing people. And in a weird way, it almost seems to me like when you meet these people and you both know going in that it's only going to be a short-term thing, that you get to stay together, that in a weird way it kind of intensifies everything and sort of bonds you closer together and makes that experience that little bit more intimate. But the good news is I'm actually going back to the Philippines again in a few months, so before the end of the year, I'll get to see all my friends there again.